Hello YouTube, MDK Shady here, and I'm back with another Beyblade Burst Turbo unboxing. This time we're going to be looking at Roktavor R4 and Minoboros M4. Alright, now we're going to be looking around the box, and around here in the front we can see both Minoboros M4 and Roktavor R4. Up here we get the graphics and the titles right there, and right here we get the Beyblade Burst Turbo logo, and on the back we get all the stats. So Minoboros has 4 attack, 7 weight, 4 burst, 2 agility, 4 defense, and 0 stamina. While Roktavor has 4 attack, 6 weight, 2 burst, and 1 agility, 2 defense, and 9 stamina. And the slingshot stats for Roktavor are 5 power, 1 speed, while Minoboros has 2 power, 4 speed. Alright, I got all the parts out, and as you can see, I got my white Ragnarok from the Spriggan set, I got my wedge from Trident, and I got my 11 disc from Achilles. That's because I don't actually have the Ragnarok from the random booster, which means I also don't have reach. And here's the driver for Minoboros. It's called Needle-S. Now, this is basically Needle, but slingshot version, and you can tell because it's basically the same motif, and it's in this nice blue color. To put it in slingshot mode, you turn it and pull it up and turn it again. There's no lock, which means it's gonna be like Archer's Hercules, where you launch it in slingshot mode and it goes back to normal. Good thing is, normal mode is very aggressive. Anyway, here is the disc. The disc is 0. 0 is 0. It's one of the best discs around, and that's all I have to say for it. Here we have the layer Minoboros M4. It's basically Minoboros M2, but a recolor version. It has those Thorns on it. That's the Thorn X Minoboros. And in my opinion, I never really liked Minoboros because of how recoil heavy it is, and the slopes do not really help with it. And here's a QR code for those who want it. And Minoboros just bursts too much. And comparing it to the old colors, I really like the old one better than the new one. And I'm just gonna put it together to feel how tight this Beyblade really is. And yeah, it's not that tight, but it's alright, mediocre tightness. But then again, its shape would probably make it burst a lot more. Alright, now that we got the recolor out of here, we're going to be looking at the 2 Ragnaroks. Here's the Japanese wedge, which is a very thin metal piece right there, and here is the Hasbro one, which is thicker, but the tip is not metal. It has less metal in the wedge one as it looks right now. I can't really tell the weight difference, can't really feel it. And I personally prefer the Hasbro one. This is one of the cases where I also feel like they did a really good job with it. They made it better. And the slingshot mode is so cool, it works perfectly fine. And I wish every slingshot was like this, or all of them had a lock, or they could be like this one, which they're not all like this one for some reason. But again, I liked Wedge, when Wedge first came out. It looked cool, it was weird, and it was freaky. But this new Hasbro Wedge would be better at doing what Wedge was supposed to do than the normal Wedge, because the normal Wedge was not as balanced as this new Hasbro Wedge, which is what I really like about the Hasbro one. Because of how thick it is, it makes it much more balanced and much more viable. And Burst Classic is coming out, and people may use this Wedge S because it's pretty darn good. The disc both of these Beyblade come with is 11. The new Hasbro one is newer, that's why it looks more shinier, and they both pretty much weigh the same in my opinion. I don't have a scale, so I can't really tell their weight differences. And the Japanese one was supposed to come with reach. I don't actually have the Japanese random booster version of Crash Ragnarok, so I don't have reach, but just imagine the Japanese 11 having reach, and that's the difference. The Hasbro one doesn't have a frame for some reason. Why don't they have frames? It's a good thing that White Leopard will have a frame. That's one thing that I am happy about. And here we have the 2 layers, Crash Ragnarok and Crash Roktavor R4. Ragnarok's gimmick is that it has the little metal wings that come out, and they're made out of metal. It's basically Berserk Roktavor's gimmick, Blaze Ragnarok's gimmick, but with metal. And Hasbro decides to not only remove the plastic metal, but like also remove the metal wings. Yes, it's as simple as Berserk Roktavor R3's gimmick, and they decided to not do it for some reason. They didn't even paint the entire Ragnarok face. Here's the QR code for those who want it, and at first I was like, hey, this is way too hollow. But then I look at the Japanese one, it's also very hollow. But the reason why the Japanese one is hollow is because of the metal. They don't want it to be outweighed or way too heavy for the random booster. to people just weighing the boosters and finding out which one has Crash Ragnarok. But Hasbro one, it should have been filled in. At least they could have done that, but they did not. But I'm really surprised they didn't make it even more hollowed. Alright, now we're going to put Roktavor R4 together and see how tight it is. And judging by the previous Roktavors, it might not be that tight at all. Oh boy, it is really tight. It's just tighter than Roktavor R1, which it is. Roktavor R1 was tight, but it wasn't good, in my opinion. But this one is really good, and it's a good thing it's banned from Burst Classic, because if it wasn't, this thing would be overpowered, and basically everyone would be running one Roktavor R4.